This video is intended to go over the regular checks and good practices associated with receiving an orbit on location for the first time. So when the tool arrives on location, there's a certain list of inventory you want to check to make sure that you're getting everything you need off of the truck. Some physical checks associated with the tool. We're going to talk about handling procedures, moving it around location, and the extreme importance of ditch magnets. So the first part of the inventory is your flow restrictor kit, or on your shipping documentation it might be called a FRK. This FRK will have a serial number associated with it, and you should get one for each tool size. So if you have a 900 size, 675, 525, or a 475 collar power drive. Each one, the bones of it are the same, but the restrictor body might change a little bit. So within that kit, you want a handful of restrictors. So after you do your PD squared and you set up your hydraulics, you want to make sure you actually physically have the restrictor you intend on running. Next is your slide hammer, which this is basically the insertion or extraction tool. And you'll notice on the end of this is two little nubs or bolts. You want to check the conditions of those because this tends to be a weak spot in the tool. You want to make sure that they're not bent or loose or just look like they're in good condition overall. The third thing is the actual restrictor body. And as mentioned previously, based on the different sizes, this might look a little different, but every kit should have its restrictor body in it. So a good check would be, without the O-rings on it, just make sure that it fits inside your body to confirm it's the right hole size. Next is spare O-rings. These can be put on the restrictor. And then you have your torque tool, which is used to snug up your restrictor when you're building your restrictor body. The next physical check is your drop sticker. So this indicates mishandling in transit. And these stickers are designed with a little glass vial inside, and after it hits a certain shock or G, the glass busts inside and turns red. So remember, if the vial is white, everything is good, and if it's red, you might have incurred damage in between the shop and it arriving on location. So you want to check this right away, even before you take it off the truck. Last thing to note is that there should be two on each tool, and they should be located inside the up hole and bottom hole thread protector. So the next thing we want to talk about is tool handling. So realize that this power drive is a $1 million computer encased in a non-mag drilling collar. Okay, so at least communicate with the crew member or the loader operator, whoever is unloading the truck, just so that he's aware of what he's handling. You know, he's used to you throwing around drill pipe all day long, so before hot rod just gets to slinging around that tool, just have a talk with him, let him know that we prefer to use straps and take our time handling it. Like if we take 5 extra minutes doing it, it's on you, and you can buy him a hamburger or something later, but we don't want to damage the tool before we even put it down whole. Lastly, a lot of people like to put it on a wooden pallet or 2x4s on the ground, since it's kind of a pony size and your pipe racks are usually not set to hold that. And to kind of isolate it from everything else, makes it easier to strap and it doesn't get lost in transit. So the last thing we want to talk about is the ditch magnets. Anti-jamming, which we'll talk about in another video, is one of the major killers of the power drive tool, and a lot of it can be displaced with regular maintenance and service of your ditch magnets. So one thing we want to talk with the rig crew about where we can put our ditch magnets. We want to put it into the circulating mud, and we want it to be use the entire surface area of it. So the best place to put it is on the return to the pits. So it's already gone through the shakers and it's just mud flowing over the ditch magnet. The second best option is the possum belly. This is not preferred because you only get like 2 or 3 inches of the top of the magnet, but if that's the only place you can put it, you just need to service it a little bit more. Speaking of servicing it, it's optimal to place it in the circulation system at least 2 or 3 days prior to picking up the tool. This way you can start to filter out some of the metallic debris inside the mud that the shakers just isn't catching. You want to get this metallic debris out because this tool is run with magnets, and so those magnets will start to collect the little metal flakes and over time jam it, and you will lose your steering response. So it's really important to start to filter it before you even put it down hole. And once you get going, you want to service it like once or twice a tower, so maybe every 6 to 12 hours depending on the volume of flake that it's picking up. Every time you go to look at it, if it's completely bearded and you can't see the ditch magnet at all, maybe you need to go a little more frequent until you start to get all of the flake out of the circulation. And last, use your PPE, and when you're washing it off, you can just use a power washer or a scraper, and please remember to scrape it to where it falls inside the 3-sided tank. Don't scrape it right back into the pits to just negate all of the filtering you just did. So in summary, we want to remember to inventory, do our physical checks with the drop sticker, talk to Hot Rod, let them know not to sling around this like a piece of heavyweight drill pipe, and please use your ditch magnets. This will save you trips, time, and get you to casing break as fast as possible. So hope this video helped. I'll see you on the next one.